Hello and welcome to this new video in the SQL content. In this video, we will learn about the case statement or expression. Let's get started. The first thing I'll do is take the same table what we had in the last video. So in the last video, we saw if function. We will try to do the same things in this video, but with case. So we'll take product key, product name, and color. Let's execute this. So based on the colors, now I want to do the same thing as we did earlier in the last video. Have color codes generated. So for example, for red, I want RD, for silver, I want SL, and likewise. So, comma, and let us split this in multiple line. Here we see the case statement. Firstly, we will identify and try to define the differences between the if function that we saw and the case now we are looking at. Case is not a function, rather, it is a statement or expression. So hence you'll not use brackets as you used for if function or any other function. That is the first thing. The another thing is the syntax. So how do you write it? So for example, I want to apply a condition on the color column. So this is how you need to follow it. Write the keyword case followed by the column name on which you want to test the condition. Thereafter, you will write the branches of your condition. So you will say when red, then what do you want to return? So this is your condition. So here we are saying test the color column name color. If it has red color, then return RD. That's it. And you should always end the case with end. This will generate a new column called no column name right now. We'll rename it. But first we will see the results. There you go. For red we have RD. For other colors we don't have anything right now. One another difference between the if function and cases, if you recall, the if function false part was compulsory, but that's not the case with case. Hence, wherever you have not, you see the conditions are not matching, it is returning you null. Now I'll add an else condition over here. I'll say else NA. So this is your true part in a sense, and this is your false part. You can assume that, and then we can name this column as, let's say, code. Now you see the difference. Wherever there is color other than red, you're getting NA, otherwise you're getting RD. Now moving further, we did nested if function in the last example. How can you do the same over here? Maybe I'll keep it separately quickly. All you have to do is just copy this when and then branch and paste as many number of times. Okay. And here we will say if this is, let's say, silver, then what do you want? I want SL. For white, I want WH, for example. Okay. And let's run. So now you see silver is returning SL, all other NA, and for white we have WH, and for red we have RD. This is the way how you will take care of these things. So a much cleaner syntax as compared to nested if function. This is one part of it, wherein we compare a string based column. Now how about numbers? Let us say I have a column called list price, or any other numeric column that you want, you can include. And on basis of this, I want to generate some categories like we did with if function with high, average, medium, or low, whatever. So again, I say case list price end, and we'll call this as, let's say, category. So for list prices, I want to create stages greater than 3000, greater than 2000, and likewise. The first thing that you have to understand is with case, you have to, when you write this way, it is always an exact match. But with the numeric columns, we don't want to do an exact match. What that means is, if you see the list price column, let me comment this. And let us take any one value for right now. For example, this one. Uncomment. So you can say when it is this, then it should return me high. Just to start an example, we'll create the ranges appropriately again. So now you see wherever that value is matching, you're getting high. But this is not what we wanted. We want to create a range. So I want to create a range in this way. Say, if this is greater than equal to 3000, then this should be high. If it is greater than equal to 2000, average, and likewise. However, as soon as I do so, I'll get an error over here. Even if you try to run, you'll get the same error. Incorrect syntax near the category or the greater than sign. Why? Is because these are comparison operators, and comparison operators needs two things, one on the left and one on the right. Now you don't have anything on the left hand side. So in this case, what you have to do is you have to bring the column name down, and that will complete your syntax. Now let us see the results. There you can see greater than 3000 is high. So this is one change with numbers when you want a range like greater than, less than. But when it is an exact match, then you can just write the column name just like this way. And similarly, I can say this is 2000. Sorry, not here. This should be, for example, average, else I'll call it as low. Okay. So for nulls also it will term it as low because it is not falling in that category. However, the others are now populating correctly. Let us see. This is high, low, and let us find average. Let's check at the bottom. Okay, here the mistake was because of greater than. That's the reason we are not able to see it. And now I can see it. All right. So these are the syntax differences between IF and case. However, case is more popular and available across all the SQL databases because it is generic, right? So that's it in this video on case. We'll also have further scenarios on this. See you in the next video.